Hey, you all, and good morning. Carpetbagger here, coming to you live from the north. More specifically, we just crossed over into the great state of Indiana. Headed north up to the top of Indiana, to Valparaiso, the town I grew up in, where my mom still lives. So I was going to spend a couple days there before we head on over to St. Louis for the Trans World Haunted House Convention. Now, unfortunately, I've been trying to review the welcome areas to different states. This is not a welcome area. It's not an official welcome center. It's a rest area. So inside you have brochures and bathrooms. Not a lot of theming here necessarily at the first rest stop in Indiana. Welcome to Indiana, crossroads of America. I always wanted that phrase. I always thought was interesting, the crossroads of America. I always felt like maybe it implied that people often pass through Indiana but don't necessarily make it a stop on their trips. And then it's Lincoln's boyhood home. He did grow up in Indiana, but all these surrounding states they fight over Lincoln. Every state wants to claim Lincoln. Of course, Illinois calls itself the land of Lincoln, Kentucky the birthplace of Lincoln, and Indiana Lincoln's boyhood home. So yeah, we will take whatever we can get when it comes to Lincoln. And then Benjamin Harrison, America's Hoosier president. Now I don't know, I can't necessarily think of anything Benjamin Harrison did. Leave a comment in the comment section if you know anything important that Benjamin Harrison did. He was, of course, America's Hoosier president. Hoosier, a very strange word. It's the word to describe someone from Indiana, and literally no one has any idea where the term originated. But the joke my dad always told me was, he said that there was a really rough football game in Indiana, and during the course of the game, all the players had their ears ripped off, and the referees walked across the field after the really rough football game, and there was ears laying everywhere, and he said, "Whose ear? Whose ear? Whose ear? Hoosier? Hoosier? Hoosier?" We've stopped off here in Indianapolis, Indiana. We're outside of the Indianapolis Children's Museum. Now, I've been recommended this museum a lot. I was going to say I've never been here, but I'm pretty sure when I was in 5th grade, I took a field trip here. But I got a lot of recommendations to check this out, and I did check their website. Adults are welcome as well as children. So we're going to see what's going on inside the Indianapolis Children's Museum. The exterior of this museum is pretty impressive by itself. You can see there's actually a dinosaur bursting out of the museum there, just coming out of the rock. There's a few more dinosaurs here that have already escaped from the museum. But yeah, it's pretty amazing. That is pretty eye-catching there. And while we have dinosaurs trying to escape the Children's Museum, here we have some dinosaurs trying to get in to the museum. You see the sauropod there of some sort standing up, poking its head in the museum. See a smaller baby at the top climbing in up there. Okay, apparently to get inside the museum we have to walk over there to the parking lot and take an elevator up and cross through this walkway. And this is interesting. In the parking garage here, we have a giant statue of Anubis, the Egyptian god. Walking across the skywalk here. You can see the traffic traveling underneath us. You can get another view of that sauropod poking its head into the museum there. As we enter the lobby here, you can see a miniature version of the dinosaur looking in the window. They said his name is Seymour. And then a model of the other dinosaurs there bursting out of the side of the museum. Looking down here, we see a giant version of Bumblebee, the Transformer, hanging out in the lobby. And there is Seymour peeking in to the museum. And over there doing the handstand, we have Boomer, who is the mascot for the Indiana Pacers. First exhibit, we're heading into the Dinosphere. And right outside the Dinosphere here, we have this massive T-Rex head. You see a very accurate rendition of the T-Rex, even has the little feather hair there on the top. So the Dinosphere, I think this was the section of the museum the dinosaurs were escaping from. See some old dinosaur bones here. Here we have Super Croc. This is a relative of the crocodile, lived at the same time as dinosaurs. You can see those massive jaws there. Oh, we can even touch his teeth. Yeah, I wouldn't want to get bit by that, I'll tell you what. We have two giant T-Rex skeletons here, and look who they're trying to take out. It's the Washington Generals of the Dinosaur Museum, the Triceratops. Sometimes I feel like the poor Triceratops exists solely to be chewed on by T-Rexes. It's interesting, you have these dinosaur heads, the Triceratops and T-Rex heads here, and these are actually, you use them to view the fight from the dinosaur's perspective. Can you make these duck-billed dinosaurs talk to each other? We have the adult duckbill and the baby duckbill here. So we hit these buttons. Oh, there we go. And make noise. Can touch a meteorite here. Says this is found in Namibia, South Africa. So yeah, this possibly could be the very meteorite that killed the dinosaurs. So this is their traveling exhibit. It's called Dinosaur Train. So there it is, Dinosaur Train. Hear them blowing the whistle and ringing the bell. And look at this, they have the American Pop. This is a gallery of pop culture. There's some little bits of pop culture all around. There's Superman up there on the top. You can see Michelangelo there from the Ninja Turtles. And then Mad Libs over here. I remember I always thought Mad Libs was silly because my siblings would play it and they would just put like butt and fart in all the blanks. There we have Mr. Han Solo there, frozen in a little bit of carbonite. But let's enter this portal. They're surrounded by comic books. Let's see Spider-Man hanging there from the ceiling. The section on fashion here. You can see all the different types of shoes. Oh, look at these here. These are only from 2015. I don't remember seeing people wearing shoes with wings on them. It says that this is a grunge style outfit, which apparently involves wearing as many shirts as possible at the same time. And this is a Andy Warhol inspired Campbell's soup dress. And down here we have a Kangol hat from the 1980s. See an impressive collection of Batman memorabilia here. And apparently this chunk of the collection is part of Kevin Silva's Batman collection, and Kevin Silva holds the Guinness World Record for largest Batman collection, so it was nothing to him to let the museum borrow a few pieces. There's a set of Star Trek action figures, and then they have an actual, that's pretty cool, an actual Tribble used in Star Trek, a little furry ball there. It says these absurd shoes here were designed for Lady Gaga. That looks like it'd almost be impossible to wear. We're all over the place with these artifacts. You've got a giant Superman figure, then you've got a screen-used letter from Harry Potter, a tie worn by John Hamm in Mad Men, and then you have Han Solo riding a Tauntaun. It's a collection of Hot Wheels cars, as well as some My Little Ponies from the 80s. Here's the original Star Trek action figures, the Kenner line. And I at one point like had all of these, and I just slowly lost them over the course of my childhood. Have a custom-made doll here. It says this doll was made for Karen Noose Bajor. And there's Karen Noose Bajor right there. I don't think I'll ever get used to seeing iPods in museums, which is becoming a more and more frequent occurrence. It's a Lunchbox Collection. I have that Julia lunchbox that I saw at the Lunchbox Museum in Asheville. This must have been a popular lunchbox. Kids must have really been into Julia. Does anyone else remember Benji? I remember watching Benji as a kid, a little dog, Benji. Leave a comment if you remember Benji. Some Barbies here. They have a Ibidija Muhammad Barbie doll, which I'm guessing is by the gear some sort of fencer. Also down here is a Rosa Parks Barbie doll. See the Mork from Ork egg ship radio. Yeah, Mork from Mork and Mindy. Didn't he wasn't he hatched out of like a giant egg? This little miniature snowman exhibit here. It says, do you know these famous snowmen? And it says, ask your adult which snowmen they know. Let's see which snowman. I know Sam the Snowman from Rudolph, Olaf from Frozen, of course Frosty the Snowman, a legend in the world of snowmen, and Chili McStuffins, who I've never ever heard of. I have an exhibit on Greece, which we enter through this airplane here. I guess we take a seat and enjoy our flight here to Greece. Have our flight attendant up there on the video screen. And we have landed in Greece. Have a bakery over there. Here at the fish market, have some delicious looking fish. There's some shrimp, some red mullet, sardines, mussels, and you got yourself some squid there. It's a Greek snack stand where we can take a look at some Greek snacks. Get some Molto there, some Sakuras chips. We have an olive processing machine. See the olives, they're falling on the conveyor belt. So turn the crank here. Oh, look at those olives go. Where are they going? Going into the olive mill. Then we have to malax the olives here. Gotta turn the wheel there. And you can see the olives being ground up by the mixer there. Just malaxing some olives. Then of course you got your olive press. Press the button there. Oh, look at it smash those olives. Oh, squishy olives. Then finally we have olive oil. We got our oil tank there. And there we see, there we see the olive oil can being filled.
Does anyone know what yeast does? Yes, it makes the bread rise. There's like enzymes and bacteria, science stuff in this yeast that when we add it to our recipe, it's what makes our bread rise.
Here in the center of the museum, we have a Chihuly Tower. And can you guys smell that? I certainly can. They have a mold-o-matic machine of a Brontosaurus. And actually they do call it a Brontosaurus. Some people say the Brontosaurus doesn't exist, but the museum says it does. Now it's interesting, this is a mold-o-matic. Usually you have the mold-o-matics in Florida. You have the mold-oramas in the Chicagoland area. I guess this is kind of no man's land, so the mold-o-matic company from Florida is operating the mold machine here. Now, unfortunately, I can smell it. I can smell the heated plastic, but the machine is temporarily out of order, so we will not be getting a Brontosaurus today. Dang it! You can see this Rube Goldberg-esque machine here. All these balls traveling through all these contraptions here. You can see the bell being rung there. Oh, you see that ball just bounced and flew in there? That was pretty crazy. Entering into National Geographic's Treasures of the Earth. We have these objects from Egyptian tombs. Do you think they have a mummy? Think there's a mummy in here somewhere? Walk over here to the overlook and see a scuba diver swimming through the air. Oh, I wish Jen was here to see that. We have some props from the Indiana Jones movies. This is Indiana Jones' hat right there. This was used in the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. And apparently that's a replica of an Indiana Jones whip. I always wondered, the whip, such an impractical weapon to carry around. It seems like you need like a large amount of space to use it. It requires incredible precision. Fortunately, he did carry a gun as backup. There's another screen used prop. It's the cross of Coronado from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. You see the rest of the exhibit, you have to use this elevator here. All right, here we go. Looks like we're in an old mine car here.
I made it. Sorry I'm late. This button is a little slower than your fancy contraption. Welcome to National Geographic Treasures of the Earth.
Here we have the dig site for the Terracotta Army, and looks like we can do some digging of our own. Want to some of these rocks and dig up these soldiers. Da, 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 da. And then once you dig them up, you have to put them together. This seems okay. We got this piece here. Oh, okay. Where does that go? Okay. This isn't coming together very well. What do we? This one's got a head on it. Here's one that's already put together. We can. Yeah, you can see you can disassemble. Oh, there we go. Okay. Let's take his. Oh, you can take his knee off. Oh, and look at this. They do have a mummy right here. Oh, okay. This is not an actual mummy. This is a copy of the mummy in the real ones in Cairo, Egypt. Of course, there's been some debate recently about keeping mummies in museums. They are people's remains dug up from their resting place. So what do you guys think? Just throw this out to the viewers out there. What do you think about keeping real mummies in museums? Is it disrespectful, or is it just a way to learn about the past, or is it best to be like this and have these copies of mummies, or I guess vegetarian mummies, as I like to call them? But technically there are real mummies in this museum. They have a mummified falcon and a mummified shrew. There's our scuba diving friend hanging from the ceiling. And it looks like they've attached some balloons to this old cannon to raise it to the surface. There's a pile of old rusty cannons right here. We do have some jars that could be used to put mummy organs in. It says this is I guess the code on where you put your organs. In the falcon, you put your intestines. That's right there. The baboon there gets your lungs. The jackal has your stomach, and the human has your liver. And guess what? The brain just gets thrown away. Here's how they prepare the mummy, and that is the embalmer's hook there that was used to pull the brain out through the nose and then just throw it in the garbage because they thought it was just a bunch of useless mush inside your head. We're entering All Aboard. This is their exhibit on trains. Oh, here it comes. Actually, is that train going backwards? And there we have an actual train here. This is called the Reuben Wells. And it says you can see it take off in a spectacular 3-minute sound and light show every 30 minutes. Oh, here it goes. Push the button here, it makes the flag rotate. Another little button right there. Oh, makes the little guy pop out of his office there. You can see there's a train traveling up above our heads, around the room. Oh look, that train was just circling around the top of the room, just entered the diorama there. So it goes through the diorama, and then it comes out. You watch it here as it exits the diorama and then travels around the room. We have a replica of the International Space Station here. Of course, some delightful space food. We have shrimp cocktail in a bag. We have, this is powdered fruit juice and some M&Ms there. We gotta be careful not to let those M&Ms out. They'll float all over the place and ruin everything. Oh, you see growing some space cabbages there. There's a science fiction room in here. Oh, here's some screen use outfits from the newer Star Trek film. This is the 2009 film. This is Spock's parka, and then this is Captain Kirk's spacesuit. It's an actual Apollo spacesuit helmet right there, and there is the toy version. There's a toy astronaut, Jane Apollo. Here we have the astronaut version of G.I. Joe. You have C-3PO and R2-D2 from Star Wars. But look at this. This is Big Lou, one of the coolest toy robots in existence. Oh, look at Big Lou there. Oh, there's Robbie the robot. Which one is he from? Is he from Lost in Space or Forbidden Planet? I think there's two very similar robots. It's a replica of a space shuttle, as well as we have the Enterprise there from Star Trek, and then Darth Vader's TIE Fighter from Star Wars. Yeah, these costumes are also from the newer Star Trek films. On a super cool little spaceship and robot down there. Oh, check this out. Got a full-size carousel inside the museum. All right, let's see which horse looks good here. Actually, you know what? I think we'll go with the bench.
Just give me your biggest and your loudest yeehaw!
Yeehaw! as much as I do love riding the carousel horses, sometimes it's nice to take a break and enjoy the bench. Listening to some non-traditional carousel music here. Look up to the sky, you can see there's actually stars up above the carousel.
Great riding, everybody, but now it's time to slow the stampede down with a great big whoa!
And here next to the carousel, we have this interesting exhibit here. These little toys in these glass containers and some old dolls right there. And there we have Pooh and his friends having a tea party. Some dolls in this dollhouse here. We got some teddy bears here. I just noticed that a dog is riding a frog. You can see a timeline of video games here. We have the era of Pong. And there's other stuff that was popular during the Pong era. That's a doll set of Welcome Back Cotter and then Jimmy Walker. We even play ourselves a little bit of Pong here. Let's see. Oh, play one player Pong. Set it to easy mode. Oh, that's really slow. Here it comes. Here it comes. Oh, got it. We have the reign of Pac-Man, the early to mid 80s. What we got here? A Trivial Pursuit board, a Donkey Kong doll, and then that giant Atari 800. I don't think I've ever seen this screen before on Pac-Man. The monsters have their own names and nicknames. I've always heard them referred to Blinky, Pinky, Inky, and Clyde, but their real names are Shadow, Speedy, Bashful, and Pokey. That's really strange. Why do they have real names that they don't use? You have the Mario Brothers era, late 80s to early 90s. You can see Mario there along with Bart Simpson and a Pound Puppy. Oh, look at that Game Boy there. That classic Tetris game. Play some Mario here. Oh, watch out for the plant. Oh, there we go. Oh, no. Oh, got me. Now this is interesting because it says your stuff, late 90s to today. That's over a 20-year period right there. You've got Harry Potter and iPods. You have an amazing mirror maze here. All these mirrored orbs here. Weird. Yeah, strange things here in the mirror maze. It's a random castle there. Then we have a Fisher-Price castle there with a really cool pink dragon. Oh, and look at this. We can have a tea party with these bears here. I guess we're having bananas. Luckily they do have this protective glass so the bears can't maul us. Little Harry Potter exhibit here. You got the Quidditch broom. There's an owl that used to deliver letters. And this letter here was actually screen used in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Here we have a hillside. You can see some animals up there on top of the hill. Oh, look at that. We got a little red fox up there. Chaos raids. Over here in the pond area, we have some real live fish. Look at that catfish right there. And there's Mr. Turtle sunning himself on a rock. We have the water table here. We can actually sail boats. So it looks like we're over here in New Orleans with these cargo boats here. Just going down the mighty Mississippi here. Oh, watch out, there comes another boat. All right, we got a lock here. The boat can go into the lock. We close it, and then we open the lock on this side, and it's like a little elevator for a boat. Now it goes up, and it's the same height as this water. We can sail into here. It's kind of interesting ways that you can actually make boats sail uphill. Mini masterpieces. We have kind of the science of making dollhouses and miniature exhibits. This room here shows off the Pepper's Ghost effect by making the little ghostly figures appear like they're in the middle of the room. Oh. Here's a miniature version of the original Children's Museum. It says the Children's Museum was actually founded in 1925, so it has been around for some time. And we can take a look into the past and see the old Children's Museum in there. It does not look as child-friendly as it does now. And of course, what would a good museum be without a mastodon skeleton? And we can actually touch the mastodon skeleton there. We can put our hands where its trunk used to be. Here's the largest water clock in North America. You can see all the tubes and bulbs there, the water flowing through in order to tell time. And you can see, you read it like this. You can see the bulbs filled up there. It is 4:35. So yeah, I guess it slowly fills up these bulbs over the course of the day. And it is time to exit through the gift shop. And at the gift shop, we have this Tyrannosaurus with a selfie spot. There we go, Dino selfie. Of course, you have these classic tubes full of animals. These are a museum gift shop staple there. See, that one's all shoved full of dogs. And I think we have some dragons. The dragon tube there. I remember having one of these grabber arms as a kid. Looks like we can grab some space ice cream there. And even more fun than that grabber is you have these dinosaur skull head biters. Let me see. He wants to eat some astronaut ice cream. Nom 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 nom. Nom 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 nom. Nom 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 nom. This mascot here named Nitro. Well, I don't know what sport team that is. It's got a big F on his jersey. These are kitty cat sensory wigglers. Yeah, it is kind of trying to hold it. It like wiggles in your hand. That one there's kind of colored like the Cheshire cat. Yeah, these are weird. It's like a Garfield-esque one. Okay, after leaving the gift shop, I noticed they had this sports section, and we have that dragon or dinosaur. Oh look, when someone goes in him, he erupts with light. Here's more on this mascot, Nitro. Apparently, he is the mascot for the Indy Fuel, which is a hockey team. So you can see wear the headgear there with Nitro on it. Yeah, they have all these different Indiana-based sports teams. The Indiana Fever. That's an interesting name for a basketball team. You got a fever, and the only cure is shooting hoops. Oh, all right. Now all I have to do is edit out all the times I missed. It's a hockey machine here. Guess you just slap that right into the goal there. Goal! Oh, whoops. Of course, Indianapolis, home to the Indy 500. There is one of them racing cars. Now, it looks like there actually is a massive sports area outside, but that is closed for the winter. So the Indianapolis Children's Museum, pretty amazing museum, I must say. Love just the way the museum is designed. It's just got a beautiful design to it. So definitely enjoyed the trip here to the Children's Museum. And now we're gonna head north. I'm gonna plan on stopping at my mom's tonight. I may be there for a few days. I'm gonna try to continue making videos. Maybe we can explore the Chicagoland area or see what else is available up there. And then after that, we will be heading to St. Louis for Trans World, the haunted house trade show. That is one of my favorite shows of the year. So thank you guys for following along with me. Hope you enjoy these adventures. If you'd like to help support the channel, consider donating to Patreon. $3 or more will get you a postcard once a month from me to you. Also, we have enamel pins in the Etsy shop, including the Kawaii Carpetbagger Fiji Merman pin, and all that helps to keep this dinosaur train on the track, this little plastic boat in the water, and this spaceship in the air. Until next time, my friends, this one's in the bag.